Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky194 and appreciate you stopping by to check out my video. And we are here at Monza and here in the Bentley Continental. It's a 2020 model. And I hope you're having a great day today. And we're just here doing a setup. I had a request to have an updated setup for the 2020 Bentley. So again, we're here, like I said, at Monza trying to see what I can do. And of course, I test it with a hot stint like I do all my recent setups. And also I'm changing it just a teeny bit. Also from here on out, I'm going to have 80 liters of fuel in all the vehicles because that's right in the middle of where most of them need for a 45-minute stint. So again, I mean, if you're obviously just doing a 20-minute stint or something like that, you'll be a lot less. But since a lot of the races are 45 minutes to an hour, I'm just going to go ahead and go to 80 liters, and that's pretty close for all of them. Like this here with the Bentley, it's actually more than you need. So this has actually got more fuel than you need by a little bit for a 45-minute race. And of course we're just doing a 30-minute stint. So again, I'll just show a couple laps and then I'll go over the setup. And of course I will put a link to the setup in the description. So let's jump in the car. Last lap was a 149.0. My best is a 148.90 right now. I still have 67 liters on. Can run over, actually hurt me a little bit because I went off the grass a little bit there, but you can run over that curb there and it'll be all right. So I did that before and it didn't upset the car or nothing. Would have been better off to run over it. You can hit that also, that little curb. If you don't hit it real hard, but if you just hit it normally, it's fine. Got a little too deep in there. So again, I might have been could have picked up a little faster with a little bit smoother lap. Yeah, I mean, no doubt, I would have probably picked up another 10th or so. So that was a 148.639. That was my fast lap. So now I want to go and jump to lap 15, and I'll explain why. I just want to show this one lap. It's near the end, but it's close enough just to show this one instead of the last lap. Now, just like a lot of cars, as you start going, especially since it doesn't have a lot of downforce, you start getting a little bit of understeer. So basically, I cranked in some more brake bias to try it to see if it would help. So you see that time, it's a 149.78. And so this is the first lap with that. And of course, the idea is to get this, the brake bias is to help to get that car to rotate and help it turn. really did help. But again, I don't think I would really want to do it for a long, it's good to do to help you out near the end of a stint, but it's not something I would leave the car set up from the beginning. You end up, basically wearing out your rear tires and being real hard on the car. You can see here, watch this. You see the back end, you can see the back end just helps swing out a little bit and helps turn the car, and it's a little bit more to drive. You see I got to drive it a little bit more, but it definitely helps get the car to pick back up. Watch the top speed here. I want to let everybody know about this, which is about the same every lap. You see it's a 148.85. It's 168, and then I'm on the brakes. Okay, so 168, and I'm on the brakes. But that last lap was a 148.85, and we'll go over the timetables. And here are the timetables. I had one out lap where I went out mowing the grass and messed it all up. And yeah, it was the kind of the throwaway lap. But there's a 148.85 right there. Now you see I gained that much, and that's the only, I just drove a little better, but plus I just cranked in a little bit more rear brake to help the car rotate. Of course, the next lap there was a 49.0, and then the next one a 49.20. So again, I mean, something good that you can do for the last probably 10 minutes or so. I don't know if I'd go about 10 minutes or so, but that's good enough. And it would kind of help you get the car to rotate if you really need it to get a little bit of the understeer out. But other than that, I mean, the car was running a lot of high 48s. Like I said, the 48.63 was a fast lap, but you got a lot of 48.90s, 48.80s, another 48.80. I mean, so you got some, it's up in there, a lot of 49.0s and things like that. So, again, I really think it's a good setup. Probably the best that is my personal best as far as for the Continental, for the Bentley. That is my personal best for that, so that is good, and that, especially with that much fuel in the car, by far. I think the last time I did that was a little bit slower, but I mean, it was hardly any fuel. So I think that's a lot better. So let's go over the setup. Got 26.0 on the left side, left front, and left rear. 27.1 on the right front, and 26.6 on the right rear. And before I forget, I want to make sure I get this out. Sorry about that. I did the aggressive setup just to double check, and the best I could get with the tires balanced and the same amount of fuel, the best I could get was a 49.3. So like a 49.30. So that's the best that I could get out of it. So again, I picked up a good half a second to 0.6 as far as a fast lap. And I just think, again, I think it's a, this setup here is better over the long haul and faster to boot. And I will explain a few things difference-wise on the setup. And of course, like I said, the right front's 27.1 and the right rear is 26.6. And on that aggressive setup, the top speed was 170 down that front stretch. And that's why I wanted to have y'all look at the speed on this setup. So you're sacrificing 2 miles an hour with this, but you're making it up everywhere else. The tow is negative 0.02 on the front, with the camber at negative 3.7 on the left front and negative 3.5 on the right front. Now, on the aggressive, it's 4.0. It's negative 4. So, and that's because it's maxed out. That's as far as you can go. That's what it is on the aggressive. And that might help a little bit, especially in parabolica. But it also can hurt a little bit on all the chicanes. So, and it can also hurt a little bit on the braking because you don't have enough tire on the ground. So, and also, when I was first trying that aggressive, I was getting some light graining right away. So basically within, like a 5 to 10, basically 3 or 4 laps, I check it, I already have light graining. And that was worrying me to where I'd have severe by the end or something like that. So basically, and the temperatures here from inner to outer were way over what I like after Parabolica. So like I would check it after Parabolica, like soon as I got off, I would stop and go back to the garage and check the temperature. And the inner to the outer was 9 degrees or something ridiculous from inner to outer. And so that's telling me that it's, the left side is getting way too hot. Spread apart, the difference between the outer and the inner. That's more temperature spread than I like. So that's why I shortened up the camber, the negative camber. I took some of it out. And of course that helps in some of the transition as far as the chicanes, and it helps also with braking, and hopefully it helps with tire life. And it did help a little bit with tire life. So again, that's one of the reasons I did that. On the caster, it's actually over 13. I don't remember exactly what it was. It was 13.5, I think it was, on the aggressive. I actually took some of it out and down to like 12.6, and that's to try to get the car to react a little faster through the chicanes and things like that. So that's the reason I did that. The car's already got a long wheelbase, so as far as stability and things like that, it's already got a lot of that already built into the Bentley, of course. So you don't really need to do it too much on this, not on this type of track. On the rear, the toe is 0.05, and the camber is negative 3.1 on the left and negative 3 on the right. And again, same things here. Basically, I did adjust them a little bit. Nothing, no big deal here. They were close, but I did a few clicks here and there. Electronics, I had 3 and 4. Fuel, of course, like I said, I had 80 liters, and I had it on number 5 because I didn't have it on number 1. But you can see it just has light graining, and that's it after the whole 30 minutes. That's acceptable. I don't mind that at all, especially after pushing it that hard for 30 minutes. Again, the wear is not too bad, especially how much I was really putting on. And that's another thing. That's why I don't set it up from the beginning with all the rear brake bias, because I don't want to completely destroy the rear tires because they're already wearing faster than the fronts. So I don't want to, I just want to use that as a tuning tool down the road. And there's no way you can increase this on the front without getting the balance all jacked up on the car. So this is just the way it is as far as what wears more than the other. Mechanical, got 5 on the anti-roll bar, 59 on the brake bias, which that's a huge difference between that and the aggressive. The aggressive is like 64. So the difference with that is the car don't want to stop. I mean, I literally, when I was in aggressive, that's where I was losing a lot of my time, was the braking zones. I mean, I would have to brake a lot earlier to be able to make the corner. So I didn't really care for that. So that's why I think this is where you picked up a lot of time. And of course, it's good for overtaking somebody or defending. Springs on the front are 160,000. That's different. They were a lot lighter. Bump stop rate was 900 with the bump stop range at 5 on the left front and 10 on the right front. Now, again, you could probably, I have done in other setups, I could increase the bump stop rate on this left side, and that's something I might do on another setup. Or if you want to try it, you could click it once, and that might help also with the understeer as far as helping it turn on some of those fast sweepers like Parabolica and things like that. So there's an idea for you if you want to go up 1 or 2 clicks to try it. That's up to you. The only thing I was afraid of, I was trying to keep my tire wear to a minimum. And then on the springs on the rear were 155,000, and again with a bump stop rate of 700 and a bump stop range of 15. Whoops, shouldn't have clicked that. Bump stop range of 15 on the left and a bump stop range of 30 on the right. And again, to go along with this, if you're going to click this one, I would click this one. If you're going to do one, do that one. Because again, it's diagonal. If you're doing this, it's helping this over here. So you're wanting to do both sides. That load side, I call it the load side because that's where a lot of the load is in Parabolica and things like that. So yeah, I would do 1 click there and 1 click there. In the rear, the anti-roll bar is 4, and the preload on the diff is 30, which it had a lot more than that. It had like 60. You could try 40. That wasn't too bad either. So I would either try 40 if you wanted to try it, but I was using this to try to help the car rotate, to get it to turn free through the corners without jacking up the back end of the car. And then, because I did try that, and I'll go over that when I get to that part. The shocks on the front are 17, 19, 22, and 25. And on the rear, 16, 15, 27, and 26. And it handled all the bumps really well. No complaints. Aero at 55 in the front, 63 in the rear. Okay, a 1 rear wing and a 3 and a 2 and a brake ducts, and the front aero variation was a negative 2.0. Now on this, I did try to raise the ride height 1, but it just got the balance too jacked up, so I left it, and I really didn't see it hitting anything. So, you know, and you need it as low as you can around here, around Monza. So as long as you're not hitting anything, not bottoming it out or hitting something, you know, that's fine. So basically then I messed with the rear. Now the rear wing had 0 on aggressive. That's why you could get 170 miles an hour, is because the wing was basically at its very minimum. I just wanted 1 click just to help a little bit with stability, and to try to, you know, help with the that you could put a little bit of ride height in it and do a few other things. Brakes, you know, that's why I had no brakes in it. That's exactly why the mechanical from aggressive had 64. You couldn't put all that rear bias on it with no rear wing, with the minimum. You would be just locking up the back end like crazy. You would, you know, you'd be engaging ABS so hard that you wouldn't be stopping. So all you'd be doing is wearing your rear tires out and not getting nowhere. So that's the reason why I wanted to be able to put 1 rear wing in it, and that way it makes it more of a better driving car instead of basically 0, and it's going to, you know, you can't, you know, brake late, it's going to have understeering issues, because you can't jack up the back of the car either. You can't put the ride height up to help it turn because you have no wing to hold the car down. So again, I mean, as soon as the tires start to wear, it's going to be almost uncontrollable, and that is the reason why, you know, you'd have the fall off would be so bad that you'd be falling off like crazy as far as their times. So I'm trying to make the car, you know, again, the best over a stint, not looking at just 1 lap, which still for me, I still think a 148.6 isn't terrible for, you know, with no drafting. You know, by yourself with that much fuel. You know, for me, that's not bad. So I think it's a good setup, and it gives a little bit more range as far as driving it and not, you know, basically wrecking the car, especially through the whole stint. So I hope you all enjoy it. I hope it works for you. I hope you don't mind me trying to explain the setup a little bit. I'm trying to do that a little bit more, to try to see this, you know, just try to see, to let you all see what I'm doing and what my goal is or what it's doing, and that's the reason I adjusted it. So I hope that you don't mind that, and any feedback or comments are appreciated. I've had a few comments about that as far as wanting me to do that, so I hope everybody doesn't mind. And again, I'll put this link in the description, and I hope you give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And again, all this is for free, obviously, for anybody that wants to try it. And hopefully it gives you a good base and that you can build off of that. And I sure hope you enjoy it and come back and visit my channel again real soon. Y'all take care. See ya.